All right, last one, 5.5, and this is something called the triangle inequality theorem. And well, we're only going to talk about this for about 7 or 8 minutes for one day of your high school geometry. If you move on in math, this one will come back a lot. It's kind of a big deal. So the triangle inequality theorem says the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the length of the third side. All right, so visually, here's our triangle A, B, C. And what the triangle inequality theorem says is that the sum of the lengths of any two sides, so AB plus BC, has to be greater than the length of the third side. And so I'm just going around the triangle, BC plus CA has to be greater than AB. And the last one, I'll go around down the bottom, so AC plus AB is greater than BC. Okay, so all we're saying is that two sides have to add up to more than the third side. It's not rocket science, but it matters. So here's a type of question you'll see. Is it possible to form a triangle with the following side lengths? So let's write some down. So we're going to do 3, 5, and 10. We're going to do 6, 9, and 15. And then we're going to do 5, 10, and 13. Okay, so what we're asking is, can you make a triangle out of sticks or pieces of wood or whatever that has these side lengths? And we're going to draw a little picture to visualize it. So we're going to put the big stick or the big piece on the bottom here. So this is going to be 10. So if that piece is 10, then a 5 piece that's 5 long would be about half that. So we're going to try to illustrate about half that. I think that's good. That looks like it's about half. And then a piece that's 3 would be even less than that, right? So it would look like that. So this idea here is that these endpoints wouldn't meet because they're not long enough. If you started trying to close them down together, right, they would eventually just fall flat and you wouldn't be able to make a triangle. And so our reason here is, do these make a triangle? Our answer is no. And we would say that 3 plus 5 is less than 10. So it's not going to work. All right, then we'll come over here and give it a try. So we'll go with our long one again on the bottom, so 15. A little bit longer. And one piece is 9, so that's more than half. Right? A little more than half. And the other one is 6, which is definitely less than a half, but still longer. So this one's 6 and this one's 9. And the problem here is that as we take these two ends and we start trying to fold them in together, well, what's going to happen is they're going to land in exactly the same spot. And what we'd be dealing with is just two sticks that are exactly 15 long laying on top of each other. So do these three make a triangle? The answer is no. And we'd say 6 plus 9 equals 15. So still not good. And now we'll come over here to our third example, and we'll draw our 13 on the bottom. We'll draw what 10 would probably look like, so well more than half, almost the whole thing. And then we'll draw 5, which should be about half of this one. And what we'll see is that if we started to fold them in, they would meet, and they would make a triangle in here. And so that's the idea, is that yes, these make a triangle, and it's because 5 plus 10 is greater than 13. Okay, that's the triangle inequality theorem. It's kind of like a rule. All right, so we'll do another example of the type of problem you're going to see. We don't do a lot of problems in our videos, so maybe this will help get you jump started on your assignments. All right, here's an example. The measures of two sides of a triangle are 5 and 8. Find a range for the lengths of the third side. Okay? So we're going to do this two ways. First, we're going to do it visually, and then we're going to do it, we'll say mathy. Okay? The visual way takes up more space. So visually, what they're saying is we have a piece that's 5, and we have another piece that's 8, and they're asking us, how long does this piece need to be, or how long can this piece be, so that when we fold these two down, they actually touch and they make a triangle. And the answer here is that they have to be greater than 13. Because if it was 13 or less, our two sides would just fall in, right? And so we can think about that 5 plus 8 equals 13. So we need our side to be greater than 13. But this is just scenario 1. Okay? And this is the one most people go to. But there is another scenario for this. What if the 8 was the longest side? And then we had our 5. And we need to know what's the shortest this piece can be, that when they fold in, they'll still make a triangle. And that one's not as easy to visualize, but it is as easy to figure out. Okay, this piece has to be bigger than 3. And the reason is very simple. It's because 8 minus 5 equals 3. So if we come over here, when we have one of these problems and it says find them, here's the measures of the sides of a triangle, 5 and 8. Find a range for the lengths of the third side. You're going to do 8 plus 5 is 13. 8 minus 5 is 3. So our range is that our value, or our third side, can be less than 13, or it can be greater than 3. And we write it all like that, and that says x is between 3 and 13. And that's it. Have a great night.